I don't know about you, but when I watch the news, I find myself asking, what happened to common courtesy? So in episode 44, I thought we'd chat about this modern oxymoron and the role your kitchen table plays in common courtesy's comeback. This is Motherhood Unmasked, the podcast for real talk about the challenges moms face. I'm your host, Vanessa Harris, but Mama, you're the hero. Ready to reveal the beautiful mess behind the mask? I am. Let's go. Hey there, Mama Bear. Vanessa here with compassion, candor, and clarity for you, the mom who's happy to serve your family, but sure could use a thank you. I understand. So thank you for all you do and for spending some of your precious time with me today. I'm so glad you're here. If you're a Gen Xer, you may have heard of Where's Waldo, a character known for wandering off, and back when boredom was a thing, kids would spend time looking for Waldo in the busy scenes created by his illustrator. When I think about common courtesy, it seems like it's wandered off like Waldo, and nobody's bothered to look for it. And it shows in the way adults and children alike conduct themselves in public settings. Whether it's the lost art of please and thank you, children calling adults by their first name, holding the door for the person behind you, or giving deference to the elders among us, the loss of something once so common is unraveling the fabric of society. And as Solomon said, it's the little foxes that spoil the vine. The slight changes that seem inconsequential until they add up and leave you holding the bill. Vanessa, what does this have to do with the table? Well, the table is where you and I learned manners, something once upon a time referred to as table manners. Manners that, if learned in other settings, were still reinforced at the table. Please pass the potatoes. Thank you for dinner, Mom. May I have some more? It's also where you practice service. Someone sets the table with flatware for the benefit of everyone dining. Another serves the food and sets it before those who will be eating. Beverages? Yep, someone can do that too. And when everyone's enjoyed the food, another somebody clears the table for whoever is on dishes detail. Now, if what I just described sounds more Brady Bunch than your bunch, then common courtesy, has wandered off. And here's why that matters. What you do a little, you do in excess. So if there's a culture of ingratitude and self-service at home with blood relatives you love, you'll replicate it in the culture at large. As a society, we've never been more self-obsessed than we are today, but we didn't get here overnight. The same busy and overwhelmed responsible for making getting around the table for meals a hassle is behind common courtesy falling by the wayside. And while you can't do anything about society at large, you can do something about you and your house. What you contribute through the kiddos you send off to school every day and eventually into the world to blaze their own trails. If you're a mama bear, you've already heard what I'm getting ready to say. The hand, your hand, that rocked your baby's cradle, it actually impacts generations too. And every mom impacting generations changes the world. We are where we are by a series of decisions, and we can head in another direction by a different series of decisions. Now, wait a minute. No superhero capes here. I'm not suggesting you should or could save the world, but you can absolutely affect your family's part in it. And if every mama owned her influence, what a world this would be. If you did the homework from the Table Talk episode, then you not only have a platform for family bonding and passing wisdom, but for the return of common courtesy. What does that look like? That's up to you. In my home, my husband and I are the ones preparing and serving the food, while our children sit and clear the table, although we are making headway in having these children learn to cook, make no mistake about that. But in terms of the table, one does flatware, one does beverages, and one clears the table. And while we do quote unquote say grace over, or as we say, bless our meal, we also practice the social graces of asking for someone to pass the condiments, thanking them, and when done, offering it to others, though that last part often escapes my boys. But the truth is, it's a process. My kids are as wonderful and human as yours, so sometimes the table setting is thrown together. Someone demands instead of asks, and another may, quote unquote, forget to say thank you. I've learned to choose my battles regarding correction in those moments. But what gets built every day is the muscle memory of their souls. Souls I'm teaching to be kind. Because charity really does begin at home, since home is where character is developed. So when my children enter a store and hold the door for the person coming behind them, it's because we taught them to hold the garage door open for the person coming behind them into the house, instead of letting the door slam in their face. And depending on the day the person behind them had, that one act of kindness causes a positive ripple effect in their dealings with others. Kindness disrupts a bad day. But most children don't default to thinking of someone other than themselves, much less putting someone before themselves. You and I have to teach them. The younger you start, the more second nature it becomes, but it's never too late to learn kindness. And that brings us to the segment of the show called Homework, the work a woman does to build her home and family. This week's homework is figuring out how to weave courtesy into the fabric of your home life. You don't have to be the sweetest, most thoughtful person in the world to do it. Lord knows I am not. It's easy for this introvert to get lost in my own thoughts till I don't notice someone struggling with theirs. I practice kindness. Table manners are an easy place to start, but don't stop there. Letting someone know you use the last of something and disposing of the empty container is a kindness I particularly enjoy. Can I get an amen? Those world changers eating and sleeping under your roof every night have no idea their potential for good in the world. It's up to you to lead the way and provide practice. And even if they whine now, know that one day your children will rise up and call you blessed for choosing their character over convenience. As a mom, you're an influencer. Yeah, don't laugh. You're an influencer. And no, your child doesn't run to you for insight like their favorite influencer, and you don't give them the dopamine rush of their app of choice, and you're not supposed to. You're not in competition with the device. You have a different function and flow. Your influence is like the weathering that formed the Grand Canyon, a consistent current of water eventually giving depth, width, and shape to even the most impenetrable child. Ask me how I know. And while your role doesn't have the glamour of the gram or the trend-setting effect of TikTok, just like the Grand Canyon, you'll see the layered and long-lasting effects of time and consistency on your child. The goal with every episode of Motherhood Unmasked is to encourage and educate you on the small changes that make a big impact concerning the challenges you face. But every woman could use some fun and support, which is what you get when you join my email list. Why? Because you could use some quick encouragement and practical resources to make mom life easier. Just click the Get My Email link at vinelifefaith.com/podcast to join my email list. When you do, you'll get instant access to my Family Function Welcome Gift, which includes the 7 daily affirmations for moms, a chore chart, which I will always say is the best self-care for moms. And you'll get my 8 easy tips for bringing a little structure to the chaos at home. All 3 of these are my gift to you when you sign up for my twice-a-month emails at vinelifefaith.com/podcast. So, as an ode to common courtesy, I thank you for joining me today. You're intentional about motherhood, and I think that's pretty cool. Please join me next episode, and by all means, bring your friends, because friends don't let moms mom alone. And in the meantime, please remember, when it comes to you being the mother of your children, you are the woman for the job. Take care. Hey, brave mama, thanks for joining me today. If this episode served you well today, go ahead and follow or subscribe so that you don't miss out on future episodes. And go ahead and tell your mom friends too, because everyone can use a little help on their journey. For more from me, you can always come visit me at my internet home, vinelifefaith.com.